Hi guys, welcome to our math class. We're going to be working in our math workbooks, and remember you are in the modules of 14 to 16. So this is going to be your new math book that we're working in, okay? If you turn to page 369, that's 369. We're going to be starting with our lesson 2, and we're going to identify and describe cubes. Now, before we get into just cubes, I wanted to show you guys the different objects that we have in class that are our three-dimensional shapes. So I've got these fun wooden shapes here, and I actually wanted to start with the cube to let you know and to show you what it looks like. It's not flat like how you would draw it on a paper. It does stick out, that's why it's 3D, and it's got all of its different sides in its square shape. Okay? So this one's called a cube. Now I'm going to grab the sphere. The sphere we worked with on yesterday, and again, you have a curved surface. There's no flat shapes. There's no flat sides. It's nice and curved, kind of like a ball, or like what we're going to see later, a globe that we have in the classroom. The next shape that I'm bringing out to you is the cube. The cube is going to look like a flat side at the bottom and then almost a cylinder-like shape that goes into a nice point at the top. So this one's called a cylinder. This one is called a cone. And now we're going to be going into the cylinders. This is your cylinder right here. It's got a nice round curved body, and then it's got two flat sides, and that's why it's able to stand up. I'm going to show you everyday items that we see in the classroom every single day so that you can get an idea of how we use shapes every single day. So starting back with the cube. Remember our wooden cube? If you look at our fun dice that we use for math and any manipulatives that we may be using for math, this is a cubed shape. This is also a dice. You can use this in everyday life, and this is the cube that I was talking about earlier. The next one was the sphere. Remember, all curved sides with no flat sides on it. And if you remember, in our classroom, we have a really amazing globe. And that globe also, too, has no flat sides. It's a nice round sphere all the way through. The next one that we had was the cone with one flat side, a nice cylinder shape, and a point at the top. And if you guys remember our fun volcano that we have inside of the classroom, again, it's got the flat shape at the bottom, a nice cylinder shape going around with a point at the very top. And the last one was the cylinder. And actually, a cylinder is like an everyday item that we bring to school. It's our water bottles, one flat side at the bottom. Usually you'll have a flat side at the top, and then a nice rounded shape all the way through. So now that we learned our shapes and we saw our 3D shapes, you guys can apply it to everyday life like we have inside of the classroom. You can turn again to page 369, 369, and we're going to be working with these shapes today. And today in particular, we're going to be working with the cube. So let's go ahead and see what they're going to have us listen to today. It says, listen to the story and let's talk about the shapes that you see in the picture. We just did that. We went through all of the objects that we can find in class, as well as our objects that we were showing here, our wood shapes, our 3D shapes. We're going to mark an X on all of the items that Pablo may need. Pablo needs items in the pantry that have only flat surfaces that are all the same size. Let me show you guys that cube again. Flat surfaces all throughout the entire side. It does not have other shapes. For example, the cone has a flat surface, yes, but it also has a cylinder-like shape going around it. What Pablo needs to find is an item just like this that has all the same flat surfaces. So let's go back to our books and let's see which shapes have all the same flat surfaces. Let's open our marker here. Go ahead and take your pencil and let's look at the top shelf. The top shelf has a cylinder. We know that one doesn't have the flat surfaces we're looking for. The other one is a cube. This one does have all the flat surfaces that we are looking for. So we are going to mark an X on that object. The next one is another cylinder, and we know that that one does not have all flat surfaces. And the last one is a cone, which we know does not have all flat surfaces. Go down to the next row. In the next row, again, we start with a cone. That only has one flat surface. We don't need to put an X on that one. But then we see a cube again, and we know that that has all flat surfaces going throughout the entire object. So let's go ahead, mark your X on that object. The next two are cylinders, which are nice and round with two flat surfaces, not what we're looking for. So you're going to leave that one alone. When you're done with finding those two objects, mark an X on them, and then turn the page. Starting at number 1 at the top, it's asking you to color the object that is shaped like a cube. So now, grab a crayon, grab a pencil, grab a marker, anything that's close to you, and let's look at the 3 objects. The first object is a cylinder. We want only the objects that are shaped like a cube. Remember, the cube has all flat sides going throughout the entire object. Kind of looking like a square, but it's 3D. It pops out. So we know the cylinder doesn't get colored in. The next one is an orange. An orange is a sphere, kind of like our globe. Just like our globe, actually. That one does not have any flat surfaces, so we leave him alone. The last one is a box of tea, and that box is in the shape of a cube with all flat sides. Take your pencil or your marker or your crayon and go ahead and shade in that wonderful shape that we have that looks like a cube. When you're done with this one, do the same thing for number 2. Color the object that is shaped only like a cube. I'm going to give you a second. Try to find it yourself. If you look at the first one, it's a frozen yogurt. So yummy, but it's in the shape of a cylinder. We're not going to color that one in. The next one are the toppings for this ice cream or this frozen yogurt that they're going to be making. And those toppings are inside of a cylinder that has all flat surfaces. So again, take your marker or take your pencil and go ahead and shade it in. Color it in nicely. The last shape is for the yogurt cones, and as you can tell, it's in the shape of a cone. So we're going to leave that one alone and we're not going to color it. We've got our 2 cube objects that have been colored in, and as soon as you're done with that, you can turn your booklet over. Alrighty, now number 3 says, point to each flat surface that you see on the cube and color each flat surface a different color. So this is what you guys will do. Grab 1, 2, 3 different colors. Grab 3 different colors. And go ahead with your first color. I'm going to use the color black for my very first color. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shade in the first side of the box that I see. This is my first flat surface. Go ahead and color that in now. The next color that I'm going to take is green, and I'm going to look on this side. This side is another flat surface, so I'm going to go ahead and color that one in. Nice and neat. As best as you can to stay inside those lines so that they're nice and neat. Grab your third color, come up to the top, and go ahead and shade it in. Now for this picture, we're going to see 3 flat surfaces. We colored in with 3 different colors. If you did that, you did a great job. If not, you can always go back and try it again. But you should have colored in 3 different colors for their 3 flat surfaces of the cube. once you're done with that, go down to number 4 where you're going to see that pasta sauce and pasta. They're trying to make spaghetti, but we need to find, or we need to mark an X on the object that has only flat surfaces. So again, we need to find only flat surfaces. If you look at the pasta sauce, it is a cylinder and it does have a flat surface, but it's rounded all the way around. Okay? That one we're going to leave alone. The next one's a tomato, and if you can guess it, it's a sphere. We got to leave that guy alone too, because we're looking for all flat surfaces. The last one is a box of pasta, and that box looks like our friend up here, the cube. Flat surface, flat surface, flat surface. That one's good to go. Go ahead and put a nice big X on it so we know that that is the object that we're going to need to use today. When you are done with that, go ahead and turn your page. Now guys, this is an on your own page. So I'm going to read the instructions for number 5, and then I will give you some time to answer it, and then I'll give you the answer once I'm done, just so that you can check that you are correct, okay? So again, I'm going to take my marker, your pencil, and in number 5 it says circle the item that is shaped like a cube. This is all about cubes, guys. Don't forget our friend the cube here with all flat surfaces. We're going to look at the apple. You're going to look at the tray that has all the paper clips in it, or the box that has paper clips in it. And you're going to look at the pencil. And now it's your turn to mark an X on which item you think was the cube. Alrighty guys, if you marked an X on the tray that has all of the paper clips, or the box with the paper clips, you were correct. It is the cube with all the flat surfaces. Good job. Go down to number 6. Now mark an X again on the cube. We're just looking for our friend the cube. We have a sphere, a cylinder, a cube, and a cone. Go ahead and mark your answer now, an X on the cube. If you marked an X on the blue shape, which was the cube, all flat surfaces, you are correct, and you completed this lesson. Congratulations, guys. You guys are done for math today.